the code. Don't worry, I'll give you the code. No need to write it down. I'll explain and I'll give you the code. I'll give you the code. Just be focused here. I'll give you all the codes. Don't worry. Okay. Next is creating game window. So I've explained you what is the game window. For that, I'm creating two variables. So the guys who are familiar with Python, they know what is the variable. So basically, a variable is a kind of container that contains some data. So here the first variable I'm saying is screen width. This screen width is responsible for defining the width of the screen. That is nothing but 900. And then I have a screen height that is 600. This is completely up to you that what length and width you want for your, what height and width you want for your game window. Okay, the next and important thing, okay, just be careful here. Game window is equals to, this is written something so long, right? So see, again, this game window is a variable, and then I'm using pygame dot display dot set underscore mode. Now what is this use thing? See,
Coding
pygame
classes.
pygame.display.set underscore mode is a pygame function that we are going to use in order to create our game window. So this function, this particular function will help me to create some game window with some particular or respective width and height. So what I'll do, I'll just pass a width variable, a height variable, and this will create the game window. So just like here, so I've written game window width is equals to 900. So this width is given as 900 and this is given as 600. Okay. So after passing these things into my game window, igame.display.set, I'm going to get this. Fine. Let's move forward. Next is game title. Okay. Next is game title. So first I'll show you in the game. See. Can you see something written as snakes here? Can you see here?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, so this is called as the title of the game. Okay, suppose you are creating some other game, so definitely you need to set some other game, game title, right? So here I'm creating a snake game, so I've simply set the title as snakes. So if we want to set the title, so here I'm doing pygame dot display dot set caption. So previously we have used display dot set mode. So set mode is used to define the game window thing, and now this set caption is used to define the game title. And next thing is pygame.display.update. Now why am I doing that? See, after making any changes to your code, after making any changes to your game, you need to update it so that we can see the changes. Okay, next thing, clock. Okay, so clock is equal to pygame.time.clock. Now what is this? Can you mute yourself? Just mute yourself. There's a lot of noises there. Okay, better. So now what is this clock variable? So clock variable, here I'm initializing a clock thing in my clock variable. Okay. Now this clock is responsible for time and date. Okay. Now where are we going to use this? We'll learn forward in the code. Next is font. Now what is the font thing? See, when I run this game, you can see that, see, this score is written in some particular font. Okay, if I want, I can change it. I can make it bold, I can make it italic, I can make it underline, or I can make it in other font as well, like Times New Roman or anything like that. Okay, sans serif or anything. So this is called as font. Font basically means the way of writing the text on your screen. So if you want to change that, if you want to make your game more attractive, more interacting, you can definitely change it. So for that particular font, I've created a font variable, and then I'm using pygame.font.sysfont. So name of the font is sysfont, then 55, that is size, and then okay, fine. Next thing is def text screen. Now here we can see that this text is on my screen. This screen score 0 is on my screen, and every time whenever this snake is eating this food, this score is getting updated by 10. So how am I going to put this thing on my screen? So for that, I'm going to create a function. Okay, and this function here I'm naming as def text screen. Def text screen. Okay, so this def text screen is a function which is going to take 4 arguments. Now 4 arguments a kind of parameter, I'll explain you. So that is going to take text, color, x and y. So I'm saying screen text is equals to font dot render text true and color, and then I'm using the game window to blit. Blit means to show the things on the screen. So screen text and x and y. So what is this x and what is this y? We are going to complete this function in the in the coming of the code. Next thing, another function I'm creating here, that is def plot snake game window color and snake list in snake size. Now what is this? See, what's happening is whenever a snake is there, so whenever it's eating the food, the size of the snake get increased up. Okay, so see, right now it's just a point size. Then whenever we are eating, the size of the snake is increasing, right? So we need to plot the snake again and again so that we can see the new size of the snake. All right, and for that only I'm doing this part of the code. For that only I'm doing this def plot snake and this. Okay, so first of all, what I'll do is I'll share you this much of the code in the chat box. You just write it in the compiler and see what's happening. Okay, got it?
Sir, how do
Yes,
we,
sir.
sir, we have installed it. How do we open it, sir? If we have already installed it.
Okay,
Like,
I'll tell you. Give me a second. I'll tell you. Okay, you can check. I've sent you the code.
sir, I have one doubt, sir.
Yeah, please tell me.
Sir, how do we open it, sir? Should we open the online compiler?
You've installed Pygame, right?
Yes,
Installed Python as well.
yes, sir. I installed Pygame and PyCharm now, sir.
Okay, then just search for Pygame in your system and open it.
1 second, sir.
Okay,
Sir, it's asking me to register, sir.
register. Oh,
Yes,
you.
sir.
So you have installed that. Okay, so I asked you to install that community edition, but I think you've installed the professional edition. Okay, so professional edition is basically a paid version of Pygame or PyCharm. So for now, just use the online compiler as usual.
Okay, sir.
Again, you have to install. Yeah,
1 second, sir.
yeah, yeah.
Thank you, sir.
No problem. Okay. Okay, so just be focused here. We'll move forward. We need to complete the game within the class. So guys, come back. I'll just explain you the code and I'll give the code. Don't worry. Okay, fine. Now we are going to move with the game loop. So here is a comment, game loop. So what is this game loop? See, whenever we are creating our game window, so what will happen if we just create the game window and will not write the rest part of the code and will run our code? So what will happen? The game window will appear on the screen and it will suddenly move off. I'll show you what will happen. Okay, I'll just show you what will happen if I'm just running this program. Now if I'll run this program, so see, the game window will come and suddenly it will disappear. If I run this program once again, see carefully, the game window will come and it will disappear suddenly. Now why is that happening? Because we need to put our game window constantly on our screen, and for that we are going to create a loop. So what is a loop? So loop basically means that it will repeat a thing, a function, or a particular action as many times as we want. So here we are going to use while loop. Okay, So while loop will help us to make that screen stable on our window. Okay, so fine. So here I'm using, first I'm creating a game window, def game loop, and then I'm setting some game specific variables, variables, and these variables only I'm going to use forward. So some exit game is equals to false, game over, snake x, snake y. So basically the snake x and snake y is the position of snake on x and y variable. Okay, I'll first explain you what is this x and y. Give me a second. So see, in maths we learn about x-axis and y-axis, right? In maths we learn about x-axis and y-axis. So we plot is a 1 2 3 4, and here we do it as 1 2 3. So if I need to find out the position of this particular point, so we'll say it as 3 comma 2. So what is this 3? This 3 is the value of x coordinate, and this 2 is the value of y coordinate, x comma y. So if my snake is available here, I'll say the coordinate of the snake will start from x comma y, that is 3 comma 2. And for that reason only I'm going to define here two variables called as snake x and snake y, snake x and snake y. Okay, so these are the things. Now the next thing we are having velocity x and velocity y. Now what is velocity? For now you can understand it as speed. So we need to keep our snake moving. Okay, so whenever we need to keep our snake moving, we need some velocity, and this velocity again needed in two direction. What are the two direction? That is again x direction and y direction. Okay, so right now I'm putting them as 0. Why am I putting them as 0, and how will I increase it? You will get to know. Next, I'm creating a snake list. So if you know about Python, what is the list? List is also kind of data structure that will contain n number of data at a time. Okay, so this list will help me to increase the size of snake every time. So for that reason only, I'm going to create that snake list. And then snake length is 1. Again, this is a variable which I will use in the later part of the code. Okay, next is food x. Okay, now what is this food x? See, food x means now I'm going to define the food x variable of the food, x position of the food, sorry. So we know that every time when the snake will eat this food, the new food will be created on the other part of the screen, right? And for that I'm going to say random dot random. So initially I've told you what is this random. This will help me to generate random numbers, generate random numbers, random numbers. Okay, and it will generate this random number from 20 to screen width by 2. So it will start from 20 and screen width by 2. So basically what will happen, my food x and food y variable will contain two numbers every time, and these two numbers may be same and may be different every time whenever we are running our code and whenever the snake is eating the food. So once the snake will eat that particular food, okay, now the food will appear at some other place. And how is that happening? Because of these two variables, food x and food y. So we are not going to set some values. Okay, they are being taken randomly. So this is why I'm doing a food x and food y. Then initially score, we know initially it will be 0. Now initial velocity I'm doing as 5. These are all the variables, snake size and fps. Now what is this fps? Just be careful. fps means frame per second, frame per second. So what happens if you play a game, it is nothing but it every second the frame is gonna change. So basically the snake is not continuously moving, it is moving from one pixel to another pixel. So in 1 second, how many times you want your frame to get updated is called as frame per second, frame per second thing. Okay, so I'm making a variable frame per second and I'm putting it as 30. So I want in 1 second 30 times my screen should be updated for a smoother experience of the game. Okay, then as I told you, I'm going to create a while loop. So here is that while not exit game. So we know about this not logical operator. So not logical operator, what it does is if the input is true it will convert to false, if the input is false it will convert to true. So this is the thing. So whenever this not exit game, so exit game is initially set to see false, and whenever it is true, and if game over, game window dot fill white. So we know that, see, whenever I'm running this program, just be very careful. Just let me first uncomment these things. Okay, just to give me a second. So whenever we are running this code, and suppose the snake dies, so what happened when the snake is died? See, the complete game window is filled as white, and there is something written in red color. So that is what I'm trying to make it here. That is what I'm trying to make it here. What is that? If game over means if the game is completely over, then game window dot fill, and there is white. So game window dot fill is a function that will help me to fill any color on my particular game window. And as we know, we already defined the colors in the line number 4. Yeah, so I'm putting here white. And then I told you I already defined this text screen also. So what I want to write, game over, press enter to continue. Here you can write whatever you want, and then you have to define some color and then some positions. Okay, next, for event in pygame.event.get. Now event handling, this is something we call as event handling. Now see, whenever this snake is running, we need to control it with our own keys. Like if we play it, I've been trying redirecting Microsoft or whatever. Okay, I'll tell you, just let me complete this part and I'll tell you. Okay, so if you remember, whenever we are playing a snake game in our mobile phones, what we do is we used to control it with our keys. So that is a kind of event handling. I want whenever I press my right key or my right cursor key on my keyboard, the snake should move right. Okay, so how am I going to do that? For that only, I am here saying, for event in event pygame.event.get, the first thing is event.type is equals to pygame.quit, exit game is equals to true. So first thing I want to do is I want to close this game using that cross button. So whenever I'm going to click this, the game will be closed. For that I'm doing this. So if event.type is equals to pygame.quit, here I'm using a conditional to compare if the type of event that is going to occur is pygame.quit, then change this game exit is equals to true, and whenever this game exit will be true, the game will be over. Okay, now here we move to else part. So for event.pygame.event, again the same thing I'm doing here. So if event.type is equals to pygame.keyDown. Now what is this keyDown? Keydown is basically a method. Keydown is a method which will be used in order to check whether any key is pressed in my system or not. So for that I'm going to use this keyDown function or keyDown method. Okay, and if event.key is equals to pygame.keyReturn, then game loop function will be called. Where is the game loop function? Here we have. Okay, fine. Next thing, again I'm just handling all this event. What I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to handle this snake movement with the help of my cursor keys, nothing else. So that is why I'm using these conditionals again and again. And the next conditional that I'm going to use is, again, it's a if event.type is equals to pygame.keyDown. So in line number 1 I'm trying to check whether any key is pressed from my keyboard or not, and then I'm saying if event.key, now I'm checking if that key is the right key. So k underscore right is the thing that we use to denote for the right key of the cursor. Okay, so velocity x is equals to initial velocity, and what was initial velocity? 10. So whenever I'm going to press the right key, I am defining that the x direction velocity should be 10 and y velocity should be 0. And similarly I'm doing, if left key is pressed, I'm putting it in negative, so it will be minus 10. Basically it will move in different direction, and velocity y is again 0. And I'm saying if up key is pressed, then again velocity y should be minus initial velocity and x will be 0. When the down key is pressed, I'm saying velocity y will be initial velocity, that is nothing but 10, and velocity x will be 0. So whenever I'm pressing my cursor, these 4 keys, up, down, left and right, so based on them I'm just trying to put this velocity in x and y direction. Okay,
Sir,
yeah, please.
can you explain this part alone again? I'm not able to understand.
Which part?
The part in which you told the keys are
Can you tell it a bit loudly?
the part in which the we press the keys, it is given, sir. Can you explain
Okay,
that?
okay, fine, I'll explain. See, see, we need to control the snake movement with our keys, right? So that is why here I'm saying if event.type is equals equals to pygame.key down. So this part always remember, why am I going to use that? So this part is used to check whether any key is pressed in my keyboard or not. Okay, and if it is pressed, after that I'm going to check which key is pressed, which key is pressed. Okay, I'm going to use my conditional statements and I'm going to check which key is pressed. So if that key is right key, then what I have to do, velocity x. So if you remember, we have already created a variable called velocity x, and inside that I am putting initial velocity. So initial velocity is already defined. See, initial velocity is nothing but 5 and velocity x was 0. So what I'm doing is, whenever this right key is pressed, so I am putting this snake velocity in x direction to be 5, but y direction is still 0. So the snake will move something like this. Okay, after that I am checking similarly for left key, for up key, for down key, and I'm putting the velocity in x and y direction. That's it. There is nothing new. Okay, so that was for moving the snake in a particular direction. Now what else we need? We need to keep on snake moving. So if I press once the button, the snake should keep on moving. It is not something like it will go for 5 unit distance and it stops. No, that's not what we want. What do we want? We want, once we press the key, it should keep on moving, right? Everyone wants that. So what are we going to do? So you remember, we have done a snake x and a snake y variable. Just try to understand here. Just try to understand here. I'll just draw you something and I'll show you. So this is my x and y coordinate. This is my x coordinate. This is my y coordinate. Now suppose this is my position of snake, and this is nothing but 2, and this is nothing but 2. So let me say 1, 1. This is 3. This is 3. So the position of my snake is right now 2 comma 2. That is x comma y. So 2 comma 2. Okay, and now I know that the velocity the velocity in x direction is 5 and in y direction is 0. That's what we have done. For example, let's say, so if I want to change my snake position, so what is this? This is my snake position. Snake position. So I want to update this snake position. So I'm going to do snake position is equals to snake position plus velocity. Velocity, because this is my previous position. See, this is my previous position. Okay, and I want to upgrade it, and so, some x and y variables of velocities are there. So if I want to update my position, what will I do? Previous position plus velocity will be equals to new position. Simple. See, previous position plus the velocity will be equals to new position. It is quite simple, right? So that is what I'm doing here. So snake x plus velocity x, and snake y is equal, this is nothing but the previous position, and this is velocity, and here I will get the new position, and this is how we can see the snake is moving and moving and moving. Okay, next thing is, similarly I'm doing for y. And now the one of the important parts. Okay, how to update the score, or how do we know that snake is eating or touching its food? Okay, okay, so how am I going to do that? See, what I'm trying to say is, I'm going to use the absolute function. This absolute function returns positive value for every number. So suppose I am going to enter -5. So absolute value of -5 will be 5. Suppose I'm going to enter 2. So absolute value of 2 will be +2. So it will change everything into a positive number. For now, that is what you can assume. So I'm going to say, suppose this is my snake position, red with red color, and this is my food position with y color. So this position is x comma y, and again this is x comma y. So I'm saying that, see, if snake x minus food x means, if the x position of the snake minus y position of the snake is less than 20, means they are quite closer, right? If snake x minus food x is less than 20, means they are almost going to touch. And here I'm going to use and snake y minus food y is less than 20, means if the the x position of the snake and x position of food. Similarly, y position of the snake and y position of the food. If we subtract these value and the value that we are getting is less than 20, means it means they are quite near and already like they are about to overlap each other. So in this case, we are going to say score is equals to score plus 1. It means I'm going to update the score, and not only I'm going to update the score, but also I need to create a new food because this food is already over, right? So again I'm doing food x random dot randint as I explained you above, and again food y, and again I have to snake length plus 5. So now as the snake is eating or touching its food, I need to increase it, so I'm doing as a snake length. Again, here I'm using game window dot fill white. Now why I need to fill white? Because now at some other position that food will be appearing, and this part, okay, this 4 lines. These 4 lines is used to set the background image. And for that, what do we need to do? You need to download any particular image. So I've already downloaded one here. So I've downloaded an image from here to put it in my background. So see, whenever I'm running this file, see there is a background image, right? So this I've already installed from what, Google, and this is that particular image. So if you want to put some background image, you can download it from Google or internet anywhere you want. And now, how to put a background image? So first thing that you need to do is pygame.image.load. Okay, so this function is used to, or this function will help you to load that particular image into your game. And next thing is pygame.transform.scale. Now like where do you want to fit it in your screen, like half of the screen or full screen or how? So I'm saying the width should be equal to screen width and the height should be equal to screen height. Means I'm just trying to put my image completely on my screen. Okay, next thing, game window dot split. So this split function, as we studied earlier, this split function is used to show something on my screen, and that is nothing but this bg, where I store this background image, then 0 comma 0. 0 comma 0 means that game image should start from 0 comma 0 coordinate. What does it mean? Suppose this is my game window, so this is 0 comma 0. So I want to start it from here so that it can fill up my entire screen. I don't want to start from the middle or anywhere else, right? Okay, now text screen, I want to add the score as into 10. So I'm saying score, this is only to put that score thing on my screen. Score plus str. Now str is I want to convert this score into a string function, a string data type, and then here I'm choosing the color, here I'm choosing the height and width or position. And then pygame dot draw dot rect, and here I'm trying to draw the food. So pygame dot draw dot rectangle. So if I want to draw the food, or even if I want to draw the snake, what do I need to do? I need to use this function pygame dot draw dot rect, and then I have to pass the game window, then what color I want, then where do I want it. Simple. Okay, now the last part of the game. So now we know that we have created a snake list, snake list. This was an empty list, and now we are going to create a head. Now this head is again an empty list. So you know that whenever I'm going to touch the boundary, the snake should die and the game should be over. Or whenever I'm eating a food, so snake length should increase. So this is what I want to do. These is two major changes that I want to tackle. So here I'm saying head dot append snake x. So head is an empty list, and dot append is a function that you will study in Python that will help me to add something in my list at the end. Suppose I have a list called 1, 2, 3, and I want to add a 4 number element. So when I'll do list dot append, so it will be added at the end of the list. So this is the rule. Okay, and again I'm doing for snake y. So I'm putting this thing, and here I'm doing snake list dot append head. So snake, in this snake list I'm putting this head list in the end of the list, and then I'm checking if the length, this length function is used to check the length. Suppose I want to check the length of this, so it will be 4. Okay, how many elements are there? 4. So that will be the length of that list. So if the snake list length is greater than snake length, okay, so it means that if the snake list length is greater than the length of the snake, then del. What is this del? Del is used to delete any element. del snake list 0. So first element is given by 0. So the first element of the list will be deleted, so that whenever I'm eating a food, the size will increase for the snake, and this previous thing will be erased, so that it looks like it is moving. Okay. And if head in snake list, if this head is available in my snake list, then from last one I leave and everything will be erased, and game over is equals to true, means it is going to die. Okay, whenever it is touching its own body, it will be die. And last thing, if snake x is greater than less than 0, so see, whenever it is touching the boundary, previously we were handling the snake body collision. Like if the snake is moving and it will touch its body, it will die. Now I have to take care for, suppose this snake is moving, and if it touches any of the boundary, then it should die. So how am I going to handle it? See, if snake x is less than 0, so what was snake x? Snake x was the position of the x value of the snake. So if it is less than 0, so here, from here it will start. So if it is less than 0, means this thing is touching this point. Okay, so again game over will be true. Or or snake x is greater than screen width, means the x position of the snake is greater than screen width. So this is screen width. If it is greater than screen width, means it will be somewhere here or somewhere here. So this position is not possible. So definitely this will be the thing. Means it is touching the boundary. So even if this condition is true, then game over will be executed. Similarly, I'm doing for y variable here, and then plot snake, and then I'm finally updating it, and this is the code. And at the end, I'm saying pygame dot quit, so that I can cancel all the game things. Okay, now I'll run it in the compiler also for you guys to show it, and then we'll see what next. Okay, fine. So if you want to run it in the compiler, what you need to do is, first of all, erase all these codes and paste the new code, and then you can run it. So it will connect to the server, and I think here it will appear. Okay, wait a second, okay, snake.jpg. I need to change that snake.jpg thing, because it will not take it as. Okay, so this code will run. Okay, fine. So you can see, because I have changed this background, because online compiler cannot load the background, so I have removed the background, and now I am getting a completely white background. Okay, so this is how we can do it. So are you guys able to open this online compiler link?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now I'll give you the code and you can do it. Okay, let me stop sharing. Okay, I'll give you the codes. Don't think it will work here or not. Okay, okay.
So can you like paste it in some what is it document and then share in the chat, sir? Because then if you don't do that, it's gonna be a jumbled mess.
Yeah, that is why, that's what I'm trying to handle here. Okay, I've sent you a file. Okay, so just open that. I've sent it to you in the file format. Open it out. Okay, can anyone share your screen and just open that file and show me, and then I'll tell you how to handle that. Anyone just share me your screen and open that particular file.
Yes, sir. So can I go?
Ah, you can go. Okay. Okay, open that file. It's okay, open that file. Yeah, just wait for a second.
Yes, sir. I got it.
Okay, now do one thing, just maximize it. maximize it, maximize it. I'll tell you what to do. Maximize this. Okay, see, we are running our thing in online compiler, right? So online compiler will not be able to take that background image from my folder. So you can do one thing, just scroll it down, keep on scrolling, keep on scrolling. Okay, go to line number 93, go to line number 94, 94. Oh, yeah, next line 95, 95, 95. From 95 to 98, just comment it out, comment it. Yeah, fine, fine. Comment it, or just you can press a backspace or cancel. 95 to 98. Hash equal, yeah, hash. Yeah, that is okay. That is okay. No, don't remove that. Don't remove 98. Don't remove 98. Otherwise, you will not be able to see the. Yeah, fine. Now copy this code. Copy this entire code. Well, just command A. Will work. Yeah. Control C and just Control V here. Just remove all that this code. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Yeah. Control V. Okay. Good. Run this. Yeah. Just control with your keys. Okay. Good. Nice. Fine, fine. Okay, good. So everyone can do the same and they can just use this. If PyCharm is installed in the system, you can do it there as well. That's not a problem. I've told you every step. You can do it in online compiler, you can do it in PyCharm, how to start, what is game window, what is Pygame. We have covered everything thoroughly. So I hope you guys understand. And if anyone have any doubt, please you can ask me. I'll just recommend just try once running this file in online compiler. Okay, just copy all this code and paste it in the compiler, and if you are facing any problem, just let me know.
Sir, I'm not facing any problems, sir.
Is it running?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's great. Good. If anyone is facing any problem while running the code, just let me know. Okay, fine. If you guys don't have any problem while running the code, you can ask me your general doubts regarding today's class, or if you have any question about game development or Pygame or about this particular game, you can ask me anything you want to ask.
So other like there is one problem with like while it is running in the online compiler, in the middle of the screen for no reason at all, it just clicks. It just says game over.
Okay, did you press like two keys simultaneously, the forward and backward?
One second.
Just check it once again.
No, so it's not that. I go to the middle of the screen to collect the thing, and then in the
Okay.
middle,
That is the problem with online compilers now. That is the problem with the online compilers. The
but
screen size, everything has different, right? So like
yes,
we
sir.
have defined something like 900 and 600 at width and height. So that is not maybe perfect for the online compiler. That's why in the beginning of the class I told you that use PyCharm, or you can use VS Code as well. So that is the thing. Okay.
Sir,
Yeah.
I have VS Code, sir. So how to connect it with the Python, sir?
Sorry, what did you say?
I have VS Code, sir. So
Okay.
how to connect it with Python?
Okay. So all you need to, if Python is already installed in your system, just go to VS Code and go to extension section. The right hand side there will be a bar. Go to extension, search for Python, download it. It will be done.
Okay, sir.
Sir, where?
Who is asking?
So where do you find VS Code again, sir? I couldn't see.
You want to like write down Python code in VS Code?
Yes, sir. Like I want to try running it, sir. It's not PyCharm won't load on my computer.
Okay. I'll show you. I'll show you how to do it. Fine. So this is VS Code. I'll just open it. The first thing you need to, if Python is already installed in the system, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So all you need to do is, give me a second. So, okay, wait. This is the extension. Okay. So go to this extensions and search for Python. Search for Python, and then this the first one will be Python language support. You can install it from here. I've already installed, and then you can start running your code. That won't be a problem. So go to extensions
Okay,
and
sir.
install Python. Yeah, and then you can run. But
Yeah,
before
okay,
that,
sir.
you may get some errors for Pygame library. Okay, fine. Now I'll share you a form that you need to fill up. Which line to comment? Okay, the line where we are defining that background image. So just comment out that particular line. I'll
Alright.
tell you from what line number to. Okay, someone is asking in the chat box, so I'm just replying to them. Okay, I'll tell you what line. So you just comment 95, 96, and 97, 98, 95 to 98. So there we are defining the background image and we are trying to load it on the screen.
Almost.
Put JPGs into background if we have
Mm.
stored it in our computer for Windows 11. Okay, see, if you have stored it already, so what you need to do is just cut it and paste it in the same folder where you are creating your game. I'll just show you. Suppose I'm writing down my game in a particular folder, so you better try to put that particular image into that folder. Okay, if that's not the case, if you are having a problem to find that, so go to that particular image, copy path, and paste it there. Okay, that will be done. Copy its path and paste it in the window game background section. That will be done. Better you just put it in the same folder. So what will happen, there will be no issue while copying the path and all. You just write the name and it will work. And if you are unable to find your folders where you are writing your games, because that happens while writing code in Python, so you can do one thing, just copy the path wherever that image is, irrespective of the place or location, and you can paste it in the bg is equals to pygame.load.image, and under quotation mark you just paste it and you will get everything. Okay, so I'll send you a form you need to fill up, and then we can wrap up the class. Okay, please kindly fill up the form. And okay, we are done. Yeah. Anyone has any other doubts, any questions? Guys, anyone have any doubt?
No, sir. So what is the final question? Share your birthday card link here.
Birthday card link here. What is that?
So in the form you sent, the last question is saying
Okay,
share.
let me check. Let me check. Just give me a second. Okay, share birthday card link. Okay, just give me a second. I'll get back to you. Just a second. Okay. I still not sure. Right? Just give me a second. I'll tell you. can leave it. It's not a mandatory field. Okay.
Okay.
Just fill up the form and let me know.
Done, sir.
Everyone done?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anyone has any other doubts? Anyone want to say anything? Want to ask anything?
Sir, I'm getting process finished with exist code 1.
Where? Is it in VS Code?
Sir?
Is it in VS Code?
Yes, sir, I'm doing in the community website. That only, sir, you told me to install, no, sir.
Okay,
Community.
share me your screen. Share me your screen. I'll tell you.
Okay, sir.
Okay, line 1 import Pygame.
So it's coming like this, sir.
Okay. We are getting an error. Import Pygame. Okay. So just go to the terminal once again. Go to the terminal.
Oh, terminal, sir. Okay, sir.
Just write on pip install Pygame and saying no module name Pygame. There is a problem facing in
Sir,
this.
pip install Pygame, sir.
Yeah, correct. Pip install Pygame.
Sir, I have done
Version
this
24.
before.
Okay.
Sir?
Our version 24.0 is available. Okay. Just do one thing. Just close it. This is the problem we are getting in like by Sham. I was getting it the other student. Just close this terminal. Close this
Okay, sir.
terminal. Do you have VS Code in your system?
Sir?
Do you have VS Code in your system? VS Code.
Means what, sir?
Do you have VS Code application?
PS4, no, sir.
Okay. Pygame. No module name Pygame. Is it running in the online compiler?
Sir, this is,
Is it
sir,
working in the
I'll,
online?
sir, they already have done this, sir, once.
Yeah, I know, but that is not the case. It's not working actually. Sorry, my packages. Yeah, there is an error. Line one. This error, I have seen this error way before. Like everything is installed, is still saying like module not found. Okay. Just once for the code confirmation, just you try it in online compiler once.
Okay, sir.
Copy this code, and try it there. Just Control A in single command. Control A and Control C.
It's coming like this, sir.
Let me check. Line number 95. Sorry. Okay, just do one thing. Comment out line number 95, line number 96, line number 97. 95 to 98. 95 to 98. Comment it out. Or just simply delete it. 95 to 98. Because that, I told you, no, it will not be able to load that background image. 95, 98, 98, till 98.
Sir, how to comment it down, sir?
Control and slash. Control slash.
Control slash.
Yeah, done. Run this once again.
Okay, sir.
Okay, screen window is small. Okay, now you can start. Increase the
Why
screen
should we comment it,
size.
sir?
Because see, the game file, that game background file what is stored in my system, right? So online compiler will not be able to fetch that particular snake.jpg image from my file. That is why it will show as error that this file is not found. So for that purpose, I
Yes, sir.
need to comment it out so that we cannot see it. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Welcome. Okay, guys. So we can wrap it up here.
Yes, sir.
Fine. You
Thank
can
you.
leave. Yeah. Thank you. Bye.